to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Well, my last video on this channel for a while. I'm shutting it down, guys. I'm shutting it down. Now, we're going to talk about Luka not showing up for last night's game. It's just hideous, ridiculous. It was, I promise you, they had $6,000 seats to see this game. Almost courtside, like, a couple seats behind, you actually being on the court. $6,000 per ticket. The NBA are scumbags. Yeah, but Luka doesn't show up. Nobody knows why. This is supposed to be this skinny Luka and all this trash, all this nonsense. And we still don't know why he lost weight, because this guy was balling, putting up crazy stats every single year without LeBron James. Remember, he was able to go to the NBA Finals with Kyrie Irving. And, they lost. Yeah, look at the Boston team they had to play. But had no problem at his weight. Suddenly, LeBron James doesn't come through last year and does what he's supposed to do. And now Luka has to lose weight, folks. To me, I'll be surprised if this is going to be to his benefit. I think that, yes, he was over there doing whatever to the EuroLeague plumbers. That's the EuroLeague plumbers. Those are guys who can't make the NBA, who dream of making the NBA. So he was just over there, doing his thing. But when he's got to come back to the NBA and play, it is crazy for me to say play in a physical league. This NBA, a physical league? Let's just say, more athletic guys in this NBA than the Plumbers EuroLeague, right? So I think they're scared to throw him out. And they're scared to throw him out against real competition, because since he lost weight, he hasn't played real competition in the NBA. He has no reason. Did he play last night? I didn't see it on the scoreboard. Maybe I'm wrong. I looked on the box score. I didn't even see him on the damn lineup. It didn't even say did not enter the game or coach's decision. He wasn't even on the damn lineup. And they had already said last week that he was playing this game. He was to sit out his first two games, Luka Doncic, and then he was going to play this game. Now, we ain't trying to say the preseason is a must, but this guy went over there and played the whole year in the damn EuroLeague. Giannis, Joker, all these foreign guys went over there and played in the EuroLeague. And now, they won't, well, I won't say they. I think Joker's been playing. And I don't know if Giannis played yet, but I'm just saying, man, I just thought they was come together and get some cohesion before the season started. You got all kind of other good players that done played. But, yeah, I don't know what's going on here. All I can do is assume. And, my assumption is it's probably better than what they're going to tell you, the NBA, ESPN, because that's all they do is lie, guys. I mean, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but he had no reason not to play. Like I said, these guys are gassing themselves out in the EuroLeague, hyping up the EuroLeague, a league where these guys can't make the NBA, so they get sent to the EuroLeague. And, a lot of these guys, the EuroLeague is basically a damn farm team for the NBA now. That's what the EuroLeague is. Look how they destroyed the NBA for the EuroLeague, right? I mean, destroyed college basketball for the EuroLeague, right? They'll get those guys over there in the EuroLeague, and they're playing basically professional since they're like 14 years old. So these guys that play in the EuroLeague, they'll get all these fundamentals, supposedly what fundamentals they call them today. But anyways, these guys in the EuroLeague, in Europe, they'll be playing professionals in professional ball since they're like 14 years old, 15, 16. Meanwhile, they destroyed our college and our college players in the NBA, in American players, with this one and done nonsense. One and done. So these sports agents can make all this money. And I'm sure to be a sports agent in the NBA, you probably have to pay some type of due. Probably to be a manager and work in the NBA, as far as that capacity for a player, you probably got to pay some due. Same thing with a lawyer type of thing. All these pieces you need as a player just to get drafted, just to have a contract in the NBA. You have to have all this nonsense, lawyers, managers, talent agent, of course, agent period, all this nonsense. So all these people, for years wanted to run these college players up out of college, one and done, so they can get a piece of this pie every year. And the NBA is probably making all this money too, because they probably got to pay some type of due just to do business with the NBA. So, yeah, they pretty much ruined American basketball with that one and done, the Calipari. And, you know, I remember for a long time, Mike Krzyzewski, he hated that one and done. And that's why he wasn't getting a lot of great players for a minute, because he wanted to get guys who wanted to do one and done. So he lost out on a lot of years and winning championships because he wasn't with it. So yeah, the NBA ruined college basketball. They ruined NBA with this one and done nonsense, and basically it made it better for the EuroLeague. Made the guys better with the trash we're talking about. So anyway, we already know what the NBA is. You know, they're destroying. In some capacity, they benefit in destroying the NBA. That's what they do. They actually benefit, you know, maybe put more money in their pockets. Look at the MLB. They destroyed the MLB to get these international players that nobody is even watching. Nobody even cares about. But they ain't paying them shit in the Caribbean League. So instead of paying Americans AA, AAA, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million a year before they even come up to the major leagues, if they do come up to the major leagues, they said, nope, we're not doing that no more. We're going to get these international players from the Caribbean League, pay them $50,000, $100,000 in the Caribbean League to see if they're going to come up. If they do, and then once they come to the major leagues, they're still effed, because they still have to do a rookie contract on top of that. It ain't going to make shit on their rookie contract, so they're pretty much sticking it to them. They're sticking it to them. Somebody tried to tell, oh, these baseball players make all this money. I said, dude, they ain't making shit. They ain't making nothing. They ain't making nothing. That's if they even come up, and then they got to go through the rookie contract after that. A lot of people don't know nothing about sports. They just run their mouths and think they know something about sports. A lot of people just know surface stuff. Surface. That's all they know with everything. Especially with politics and history. All they know is surface stuff. That's all they know. Anyways, yeah, like I said, this is probably going to be my last video for a while, man. I gotta, you know, I'm just going to focus on health and family and stuff like that. The NBA, not that my health is actually, I think it's fine. I get a lot of compliments all the time. People are, oh, I can't believe you're that old. Look how strong you are, man. Blah, blah, blah. You take care of yourself. You must lift weights, all this stuff. And no, I just studied. I just listened to real doctors tell me about real stuff, about real medicine, and how to take care of my body. I just took the leap. A lot of people, they're worried about, they're worried about, what would you call it? Pleasure. They're all about pleasure. So when you tell them, hey, you gotta cut out this, you gotta cut out, oh man, I can't stop eating this, man, I can't stop. Then shut up. Don't cry later. Then you don't want to lose weight. You don't want to feel better. Oh man, I ain't gonna eat that, man. That don't taste good. This is the world we live in, man. With these people. These people are like drug addicts to food. And well, to this unhealthy food out here. 95% of all illnesses, sicknesses, causes of death is suffering that people go to the doctor for. Medical doctors, should I say. People, when you say medical doctors, you think these people are really, really healers. But anyways, people go to the doctor for 95% of them. And that's from eating food. Sickness, death, illness, I guess you could say that's the same thing. Ailments, whatever you can name, 95% of it is from the food. Folks, you're not supposed to die from eating food. You're dying from eating food, and your animals are dying from eating this food out here. Now, you know, yes, they could die from eating the human food, but they're also dying and have all these ailments and sicknesses and stuff like that because they're putting the same shit in the dog food that they're putting in our food. I'm not talking about the same ingredient, but I'm talking about the same stuff that they, you know, high carb, high sugar, all this stuff they're putting in the animal food. Not even chemicals, byproducts, all this stuff. When you hear non-GMO, or you hear, you know, organic, what do you mean organic? Everything, all the food is supposed to be organic. They're not supposed to be poisoning us. The food is supposed to be real. We shouldn't have to have a choice to eat between real food and poison food. What are you talking about? All natural, but same thing. We shouldn't have to have a choice as human beings that wake up and go work and be patriotic about the best country in the world to be poisoned or not to be poisoned. But this is what the people who think they vote, this is what they vote for. This is what they vote. They vote to be poisoned. What do you hear all these politicians? Oh, we're taking all these chemicals out of your food. We're going to make sure your food ain't sprayed with all these pesticides and chemicals. What do you hear this? All you hear is some fools fighting over what they're going to do for the economy. Jobs, jobs, jobs. You got a job, you're a slave every day. They're going to change what some puppet didn't do during his term. That's why they said they ain't talking about you being poisoned in your everyday health. They're not doing that. They ain't doing that with the FDA. Anyways, that's a whole damn video if you want to get me going. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the reality they want you to live in with LeBron James in sports, in fake sports. Fake sports. Because like I told you guys before, my channel, it was doing good as long as I went with the script. As long as I went with the script. And what was the script? Blame LeBron James. LeBron this, LeBron that, LeBron James this, LeBron James that. LeBron, they don't care. You can badmouth LeBron James to the damn hills. You can badmouth Stephen A. Smith to the hills. You can badmouth whoever they throw out there on that script, right? And what's the script? The script is the latest headlines from the media. They write the script and they want you to go along with the script. They don't want you to go outside of the script, right? They don't want you to know that the Stephen A. Smith and Max beef was fake. You're gonna get penalized for that. Don't tell that. They don't want you to know that the Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp beef was fake. They don't want you telling that. That's outside the script that they wrote. They don't want you to actually use your brain to tell other people or to know that all that stuff was scripted, fake beef, because they weren't getting the ratings. They weren't getting the viewership to pay these guys no more. So they're gonna give you a fake beef and get the dudes up out of there. It's part of the script. They're gonna get the views. They're gonna get they're gonna get everybody talking about it. It's a script. It's TV, guys. These YouTubers, man, for some reason, I don't know. This is why I'm getting out of here, because I'm the only one telling you that this stuff is scripted. And what's so crazy is it's TV. We should know it's scripted. It ain't like it ain't like it's something else. It's actually TV, folks. All this stuff is fake. So when I tell you about the LeBron James thing, one of the reasons why I'm leaving is because it's all fake, guys. It's all fake. I already told you guys this a million times. This is all scripted. With the LeBron James thing, he's only around like the steroid thing with MLB because it's a smokescreen. These 2020 guys, for some reason, aren't pushing their own era, man. And whatever you think, that's fine. But all I got to do is look at the ratings. Even when LeBron James ain't in the finals, the ratings ain't good. The ratings ain't good. Nobody's watching it. So I'm not trying to say LeBron James is bringing ratings. I'm not trying to say that. What I'm trying to say is, once his script is over, it's just gonna fall off the map, because that's the only thing that's holding the NBA up to even be talked about, to where it'll get a little bit of viewership, to get anybody to care about the NBA. Is it shenanigans? That's it. So once he leaves, it's really gonna fall off the map. People think that the NBA is gonna get better. It's gonna get better when he leaves. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. It's gonna be over. It's gonna be worse, because there will be nothing to talk about. Nothing. You can't have this push your league for so long, this shenanigans, and then he just retires and it's over. Why do you think they brought in Bronny James for backup? You think Anthony Edwards is going to move this? Anthony Edwards was getting Gatorade for LeBron James on the Olympic team. Was getting Gatorade. This dude wasn't even starting. Imagine Michael Jordan in his 4th year coming off the damn bench in the 92 Olympics. I'm just saying, if it was played back then in 92 and they had to get a team. You think Michael Jordan's coming off the bench? You think Magic Johnson is going to be slid over? This is what they did to Curry. You think Magic Johnson is going to lose his spot to LeBron James? That's what LeBron James did, slid Curry over the shooting guard, and he played point guard. A dude can't even fucking dribble. This is an embarrassment. I mean, it's got to be a joke. And Anthony Edwards couldn't even beat plumbers in the damn FIBA. Didn't even place. This is what we're talking about. They're calling this guy the next Michael Jordan. Just embarrassing, man. You couldn't beat... Who is this dude? The fake Rondo Schroeder and his German plumbers? You couldn't beat them? Anthony Edwards. I'm just saying these guys want me to take them serious. I'm not with the script. That's what they want you to come up here and be on the script. Oh, LeBron James this, LeBron James that. This I'm not on the script, man. LeBron James ain't intelligent. He's not brilliant. These dudes are actors. Rich Paul is an actor. Listen to him. And he's dumb. You think this dude is smart enough to run a talent agency? Come on, man. These are just front people they throw out there so you can talk about, be pissed off about like a president. Just front people out there, front man, so you can give somebody to blame. That's it. They'll do stupid stuff and say stupid stuff while the real business is being done behind closed doors. That's what a president is. He's a front man. He's a puppet, like Adam Silver. He's a front man puppet in the NBA. The Players Association run the NBA, and the owners do. Adam Silver is a punching bag puppet. Some dude you can blame or thank or, whatever you want to do to him. He don't run shit. This Dreamers Pro ain't gonna tell you this stuff, man. The way I talk, they ain't gonna tell. Why you think my channel is the most shadow banned channel out there? I got subs telling me, look at this. They like my video and they take the like off. They like my video and they take the like off. They comment on my video. They take the comment off. They've been unsubbed to my channel. They've been unsubbed to my channel. Remember, I ain't supposed to be nothing, man. I only got a few thousand subs. And they still shout out. My channel ain't even monetized. Which means my channel ain't even gonna get out to a whole bunch of people because they only put monetized channels out there like that. Right? Because they want to sell their sponsorship. They want to sell the sponsorship. So even with the little subs or my channel getting out here to how many people it does, they still shadow ban my channel because I'm not talking like Dreamers Pro or some of these guys. I ain't with the scripts. I'm trying to tell you guys the reality of it. I'm trying to tell you the reality of it. See, most of these guys just want to tell the script, and guess what happens? The script gets boring. It gets old. They don't want to tell you. They want to tell you the script that they're being fed on a daily basis, but they really don't want to tell you why these things are happening. So what happens is we start repeating the same thing over and over and over again, right? Us YouTubers talking about LeBron James. It's just basically the same thing over and over again. It's crazy, right? For years and years, it's the same thing over and over again. And if you ever listen to LeBron James podcast and the way, and some of his flunkies and stuff, they say the same thing over and over and over again. How dumb does it sound? In this fake GOAT debate, it's the same thing over and over, and it's just over and over again. You can't really make a new video about nothing without saying the same thing 3 million times. That's just insanity. It's like it's running into a brick wall at full speed with your head down. Over and over and over again. I'm serious. Go listen to most people's videos about the NBA. It's the same thing over and over and over again. It might be a different subject, but it's the same thing over and over and over again. I'm telling you. So who cares about the NBA, man? All they're going to do is throw games like they did last year. That's what they do. Now that gambling is legal, everything looks weird, even in football. But yeah, of course, basketball. You can see it with your own eyes. I don't know if you're blind or you're dumb or you're slow or you just don't want to believe it. They already told you that NBA players are gambling on games. They just throwing out, low-level guys. Get out of here. Act like they're the only ones doing it. Dudes faking injuries. I mean, like, really? Everybody said I was crazy, that Kyrie didn't bump knees with the guy. I showed you video. And then guess what happened? They start tanking, and they got the number 1 draft pick. Later on, everybody said that all this stuff was done on purpose to get to get a good draft pick or to get the number 1 draft pick. But I was told I was crazy and I was a conspiracy dude. Even when I showed video of Kyrie never bumping knees with the guy, as the announcer said he did, just to get Kyrie out so they could start tanking. AD came over there, but he was already hurt, and they start tanking. And then he comes back, and they're like, don't even throw the man the ball. And they tank just enough to be in a position to get that number 1 draft pick. And then everybody said, oh yeah, everything adds up now. This was this one. I've been saying this, man. I said this. The NBA is The NBA is scripted. I'm just saying, whatever. And this whole LeBron James thing is the biggest script. It's the biggest script. So at best, what's going to happen? Oh, this guy's going to say this. This guy's going to say this. This guy's going to say that. It's the same thing. Gilbert Arenas said this. This ex-NBA player said this. This ex-NBA player said this. No shit. They're going to say it because they don't mean it. That's how they get you to react so they can make money. It ain't that they don't know what they're saying. It ain't that they don't know what they mean. Yes, they know what they mean. But that ain't where the money is. The money is getting a reaction out of you. So now you promote them, and then guess what? They can go to, when you promote them, you get other people to go to their platform. See, if they're just ignored, they go away. If LeBron James was ignored as much as he, people pay him attention, he would go away. It would be over. He would have been retired. But LeBron James is nothing but what would you call it? He's a trigger. He's the trigger. You gotta remember, a lot of people who are on the wrong side that are saying nonsense, for them to make any money, LeBron James has to stay. Once LeBron James leaves, their money dries up. Who's going to be the next clown that moves the NBA? I know it's hard for a lot of people to fathom this, but the NBA isn't moving this league based on greatness. When you move your league based on greatness, it's just not guys shooting the ball, hitting the ball, throwing the ball. The fan base has to be interested. The viewership has to be there. And for some reason, the viewership ain't there, folks, which means nobody cares about these NBA players' so-called greatness. They don't see it. Don't believe me? Look at the MLB. Nobody cares about these guys' greatness. In the way these guys play, nobody cares. For one, you got to have a soap opera with sports. That's just how it is. Yes, on-court greatness is great. That should sell most. That should be the most appealing thing. But if you don't have any soap opera, nobody's going to watch it. Does MLB have a soap opera? Nope. Does hockey have a soap opera? Nope. Does soccer have a soap opera? Nope. Did MLB have soap operas? Yes. Yes. I could do a whole video on these 90s players, from David Justice to Bo Jackson, back playing baseball, to Ken Griffey Jr.'s, to Deion Sanders, to Kirby Puckett's, to Dave Winfield's, to Dave Henderson's, to Andre Dawson's and Ryan Sandberg's and Mark Grace's and Wade Ball. It was soap operas back then. Darryl Strawberry. You Nolan Ryan, you had soap operas back. You can't have a soap opera with a league full of international guys that don't speak English. What soap opera you gonna have? And now, what soap opera you gonna have with your top 5 players ain't even from this country? I'm just saying, man, you got to stop lying to yourself out here. The NBA is cooked. It's straight up cooked, and they're using this LeBron James, like I said, as what? As a puppet. As a puppet. As entertainment. No league in this world will put up with a player doing something like this. I don't even think any player would do something like this. The things he says, the things he does, but he's got to do it because the NBA, this is a script for him. Think about it, guys. Just think about the stuff he does and says to destroy his legacy. The NBA, and just think about the NBA as a company. Why would they even let this guy do these things? When I tell you, if the NBA told him to get the hell out 5 years ago, he would have been gone, man. Say he would have retired in 2018. I'm serious. Listen to what I say if you don't believe me. Even though he got his brains beat out and got his 6 finals lost. Remember, they run their league on reverse psychology, right? They're telling you ESPN and NBA, they're telling you how great this guy is with his 6 finals blowout loss. Only 2 statistical titles up to that point. He was 3-6 up to that point. That was his second super team. Played no competition in the East with his super teams. Folding up in the NBA finals several times. So I'm just saying, if he would have retired in 2018, then what? Where's the NBA? Remember, they talk about this fool 24 hours a day. Where's he going? What's he doing? Where's he going? LeBron James is owned by ESPN and Fox, Disney, in the NBA. This man ain't got no real life. This dude is owned by the NBA. Who wants a life like that? So, listen, if he would have retired in 2018, what then? Where's the NBA? Where does the NBA go from there? Kawhi Leonard ain't moving the NBA. The dude is dumb as a doorknob, and it's like talking to a wall. That's what I'm trying to tell you. All that stuff that with Kawhi Leonard, he did this. This is all entertainment, folks. It's all nonsense. This is the stuff that they don't want. YouTube is going to ding you if you tell any reality about life when we come to sports. So the NBA knows this, and they're not going to do nothing because it's fake. It's fake news. It's like these guys making these contracts fake news, just a value in a dying league where nobody is watching it or care about it. These guys ain't making this kind of money, and they show you when they retire. They got a podcast during the season just to make money. They'll retire just like these guys in the past. They'll be fighting for a job, putting on makeup, sitting at a desk, and coaching. They ain't making no damn money like that. They giving you a value. That's it. Imagine if you made $100 million, if you made this kind of money that these guys make, man, you'd be off riding off in the sunset. Some dude asked me, what about the Russell Westbrook? What about that situation? He ain't no team is picking him. He might go play in these, some kind of league, China league, whatever like that. What do you think about him not being, somebody picking him up? I said, are you kidding me? All that money he was supposed, go look at his contracts throughout the year. Are you serious? I would have retired a long time ago. I would have gave these people the middle finger. Damn, a championship. I got hundreds of millions of dollars. If not tens of millions. I wouldn't care. I'd be gone. I'd be on vacation relaxing while y'all talk about LeBron James, the failure. While your NBA ratings keep, but he ain't making that kind of money. And that I'll tell you too, these guys can't even sit down at the end of their careers after making hundreds of millions of dollars and tens of billions. They got to run to some league nobody ever heard of just to make $1 million. If that, really? You can't go relax with your family and you're supposed to have all this money? Guys, we ain't talking about these guys supposed to have hundreds of thousands. They're supposed to have hundreds of millions and tens of millions. They ain't got it. It's all fake. It's all a value. This is stuff YouTube don't want you to hear. I mean, they don't want you to put information out here like that. Remember, I can tell you, anybody can tell you, my channel was growing so fast when I first started, and I didn't even know I could be monetized until they told me. I was close to it, but my channel was going so fast as long as I stayed with the script. Once I start going outside the script, they was like, no. No. They want what's the script? The script is whatever the headlines are, you have to talk about it in that type of way, the way everybody is talking about it. Everybody. So like I said, they want you to blame LeBron James. If that's what they want you to do. They want you to think that this dude is a narcissist, this dude is this dude is that, this dude is. They want you to blame him. That's the script they put forward. If whoever they're talking about, it could be Rich Paul. They want you to, blame Rich Paul. They want you. This is all they want you to do, because basically what you're doing is you're promoting their league. They don't have to do any work to promote their league now, right? Their on-court play isn't moving the league. So what they'll do is they'll give you a whole bunch of shenanigan headlines so you can promote them. So this is the promotion of the NBA now, the YouTube platforms. Look at Dreamers Pro. Like I said, this guy has over 200K subs. from promoting ESPN, Fox Sports. He got $200K just for that. Really? Y'all got to remember, this is, he works for these people. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care who rolled with him or nothing. I can listen to a lot of channels out there, and he don't even come. I wouldn't even listen to his channel that say it's the 10th best, guys. Realize he's got more subs than Dreamer. Yeah, I mean, not Dreamers Pro. That is Dreamers Pro. He's got more subs than Uncut Hoops, Scap, AOH, a lot of these guys. And he don't do no video footage. Really don't crunch no numbers. All he do is sit there and gossip. He ain't really breaking down no NBA history, showing nothing. Just sitting there gossiping and getting all the stories before anybody else does about the NBA. And all he does is promote every other video, Fox Sports and ESPN. He literally works for him, guys. I'm not lying. No way that guy's channel should be that good. He shouldn't even have 100K subs. But the only reason why he does is because he works for ESPN and Fox Sports. Who gonna sit there and promote them every other video? A network like that, a scumbag network like that got rid of all the good analysts. Now they're turned into a rainbow sports network. Who gonna promote them like that? He does. That's why he got all the subs. He ain't out there putting no great video footage or breaking down no numbers like Johnny Arnett or some of these other guys are telling any real truth. The truth he tell about LeBron James is just gossip, surface, soap opera type of ish. Anybody can do that. He ain't really gonna go in. He ain't gonna expose ESPN. He ain't really gonna expose the NBA. So either that, he done got patted on the back by them and given those subs by them, ESPN and Fox Sports, or because he works for them, or he don't bought them. Somebody said, "Oh man, what's the beef you got with Dreamers Pro?" I said, "I ain't got no beef with the dude. I'm just telling the truth, what it is. Trust me, it ain't no beef. He's scared to beef. Trust me. When you see dudes on here beefing, it's usually fake beef. Like he had this one dude he was beefing with. It's fake. They're beefing to get each other views and subs and stuff like that. Fake beef. Like the Gilbert Arenas and Scat thing act like they was beefing for a minute, but it's fake beef. They're trying to get each other views and subs. Most of these beefs are fake. They won't say my name because they don't want people coming to my channel, not because I'm gonna make any money, but because they only have these fake beefs so they can make each other money. That's it. Like Gilbert Arenas and Kwame Brown beef, fake. Gilbert Arenas and Dreamers Pro beef, fake. They're there to make each other money. That's what some of these guys do. So yeah, this is. I'm sure you guys done heard a lot, anyways. Throughout the time or whatever like that. Me saying the same thing, but this is the same reason why my videos and my platform has been shadow banned. Because I'm out here telling the truth. Who wants to hear the same thing over and over again? This is what these guys are saying out here. It's just the same stuff. Whether it's the guys on the good side or the guys on the bad side. And that's the way it is. You got the good guys on the good side supposedly going against LeBron James. And then you got the guys on the bad side acting like they're for LeBron James. People calling them stupid. They ain't got no sense. They're wrecking the NBA. And then you got the guys on the other side. We're trying to bring the NBA back. We're trying to bring integrity back to the NBA. We're trying to get LeBron James out. That's the way it works. That's the way the script is supposed to go down. It's supposed to be two sides to the script, or it can't work. But ultimately, why this is happening, like I said before, and this is why I'm shadow banned, this is why people won't say like that, nothing like this. You got to take accountability. And basically, the accountability go towards the ex-players of the NBA. And this is how you know this whole thing is scripted. Because, when we first started this stuff, and, the whole LeBron James thing, and, the LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, the GOAT debate, all this stuff, and It wasn't even about that. That was so wrong. When we start getting about 2018, LeBron James got a 6-final blowout loss. And then guess what? They start dissing ex-players, calling them plumbers, calling them tax cats, all this nonsense, right? And they start degrading their own past great players. It's that crazy. Just think about it in your mind. This league is that bad. they start digging up. It's just mind-blowing to even think this or say that. They start going after their own past greats, guys. This ain't like something random that JJ Redick can say whatever he wants, or Nick Wright, or you guys gotta remember with these debate shows, right? These debate shows and these networks, they buy the rights from the NBA to talk about them, broadcast them, whatever. So everything they say on those debate shows has to go through the NBA. They're not just waking up and write a script on these debate shows and say what they want to say. It has to go through the NBA as far as what they can talk about, what they can't talk about. So it's all okay and approved by the NBA. So this is what's so crazy again. They had to start dissing their own ex-great players for a product that failed, a product that nobody cared to watch or was watching due to the viewership, and actually had to let these guys cheat and do it the wrong way and still call these guys the greatest of all time. But they start dissing their past ex-great players. This is just insane. This is how bad it got, folks. And what I say is these players, the Michael Jordans, the Clyde, I'm not even going to go through all the names. If you can think of them, they played in the 90s, they played in the 80s, they played in the 70s, they played in the 60s, whether they was all-time great or not. They got their eyes pissed in day after day after day by the NBA. Not no debate group. Yes, I'm telling you, they're the front people. There always has to be front people, so you can't ever see the people who write the script. It's okay, Dreamers Pro ain't gonna tell you this. Because you can't tell these type of things, man, because that's where the money is. You got to keep the script going. You got to keep acting like this stuff is put out there by just these players that play every day. This is why the world is dumb, folks. But yeah. And these players from the past, I don't care who it was from, the 90s, the 80s, 70s, they literally are allowed to say nothing. You might hear a dude poke out and say something once in a while, but literally they're not allowed to wipe the piss from their eyes as they get pissed on. And actually, they were told in this script, some of them, to play part to piss on their own eras. The Isaiah Thomases, the Scottie Pippins and guys like that. Pissing your own, that's kind of hard, but I'm about to say pissing your own eyes, but, pissing your era's eyes, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's just insane when you think about the whole thing. Like, all this just to keep the NBA up because they can't move their own league based on on-court greatness. And when I say on-court greatness, these guys in those past eras, like I was talking about, they didn't need this shit. They didn't need to diss their own past eras. They didn't need all these debate groups. They didn't need all this because what they did on the court was the soap opera, or translated towards the soap opera, and sold the league. That's all it was. That's all it was. It's crazy. It sold the league. These guys can't sell their own league, so they have to make up all this nonsense. They have to come up with all this script, all this soap opera, all this stuff to sell their own league. I mean, it's pretty worthless. It's pretty bad. So the NBA is cooked, man. The only thing keeping it up is YouTube platforms for a long time, saying the same thing every single year. And, like I said, I'm going to take a break. It just, a lot of it's just wasting my time, man. I could be concentrating more on health, because a lot of these people on YouTube, they're sick, man. They're sick. They do this all day, every day. They just put out meaningless videos just to make money. And I'm not trying to say all of them, but a lot of these guys just put out meaningless videos just to make money about LeBron James, about the NBA, about this and that. It really ain't teaching nobody nothing. They ain't really, kicking no knowledge, telling no knowledge, nothing like that. It's just a whole bunch of meaningless stuff about the NBA. And if you think about it, a lot of it's just circling around. It's only so much you could tell, teach, talk about with the NBA, whether it's history or what's going on now. And then you got to just keep circling around, wait for another LeBron James story to come out. And really, you're talking about the same thing. About his, more of his failing, more of his talking, saying this, more of his son. It's just really talking about the same thing, more of the NBA script. Because like I said, it tells you something. It tells me a lot. But if 99% of the storylines ain't of Luka, SGA, Joker, Anthony Edwards, Victor Wembanyama, and these guys are the 2020s, what does that tell you guys? It tells you that these guys can even move their own era. They didn't need Larry Bird or Magic Johnson in the 90s to move the 90s. They didn't need their shenanigans. They didn't need Wilt Chamberlain, even though he did play in some of the 70s. They didn't need him in the 70s. They were doing good in the 2000s without some of these 90s guys. And LeBron James was supposed to come in amongst other players and lift the game up. You went from having this dude be the next Michael Jordan, whatever he's supposed to be the most hated dude in NBA history. This is what you got, folks. So, like I said, I'm gonna take a break. If I'm gonna come back, period, it's just the same thing, man. Focus on my health, focus on life, and stuff like that. The NBA is the least important thing in people's lives, and I've seen so many people just walk away from the NBA because it is what it is. You can't make it something that it ain't. And we'll never get that type of NBA back. It just, the type of NBA that we got now, it goes with the time. Really, when you look at everything in pop culture, it's just dull. It's just not there no more. It's just on a lower level. Everything, music, movies, sports, everything, just culture. Everything is like on a dull level. So it's not surprised that NBA and the MLB is where it is. It's just part of the culture. And sports analysts, they are where they are because it's part of the culture. You got the worst sports analysts, some of the worst, play-by-play guys. It's just like that, man. You got people literally lying on ESPN, social media that talks about basketball. It is what it is, folks. And, like I said, anybody still, making videos about the NBA, especially, they're just reading off the script. They're really not telling any truth about the script. Yeah, you can tell truth about LeBron James. That's easy. I mean, a 2-year-old kid can do that, but we're just saying the same thing over and over and over again. Or it could be about, or it could be about Kevin Durant. It's just the same thing over and over again. All these dudes is lie. They say a whole bunch of nonsense because it's a trigger. This is what moves the NBA. The NBA don't move based on court greatness. This is what the NBA moves on. So then you got a lot of channels, AI now, they're taking over, the sports platform realm. So it's just all nonsense. It's just all nonsense, man. It's a waste of time, waste of your health, waste of you could be focused on a lot of stuff, man. Then, even if I could make a video in 10 minutes, 20 minutes, it's still mentally, you still have to have all this stuff mentally in your head about the NBA, about just different things you're going to do a video on, everything. It's a mental mind up to even think about this stuff every day because it's fake and scripted. Everything you're going to see that comes out of the NBA with LeBron James, Bronny, or whoever, it's all scripted. You guys forget it's entertainment. It's a business. It just don't happen like that. All of them, they're all scripted and they know the script. So, I'm not going to do a video. I said before, when LeBron James won that gold medal MVP, Olympic MVP, I won't do no more videos. When Bronny came into the league, I said that was it. But now it's really it. People telling me, they're getting unsubscribed to my channel, all this stuff. It's whatever, man. People want to make these videos about nothing. Good for them. You're not gonna. It's more mentally. It's more mentally frustrating and more, it's making people retarded more than anything because you're saying this. Everybody's saying the same stuff over and over and over again. And the NBA is pushing shit backwards in your brain about how it should be. And that's the only way the NBA is moving, through trigger. So, and the NBA ratings going down further and further every year. Yes, I would like to see these 2020 guys compete without this dude in the league. We want to see the SGAs in the Greek Freak in the finals. We want to see Greek Freak against Joker in the finals. We want to see these things. That's what we was used to seeing top tier teams play each other in the finals. We don't get that shit no more. Why we get these damn shenanigans all season about what a loser is going to do? What's he going to do? Where's he going to go? How come this is where you are, guys? A scripted, triggered ass NBA that these platforms will continue to promote so they can get patted on the back, so they can get $1 in their pocket. That's it. They don't want to tell you about the script. They don't want to tell you the reality of it all. And that's what keeps the NBA moving. Not LeBron James. He's a puppet. That's it. One of the dumbest dudes you listen to. He's part of the script that is written for the NBA. So like I said, unless something big comes out and this dude retires, maybe I might do a video. But as far as I'm not doing a video no more. I'm done. I'm taking a break on this. If I even come back, I want to get my new channel coming out. And at least that's like reality. And you can teach people something. You can't teach nothing about the NBA. The NBA pretty much pissed in everybody's face. I don't care how great these guys was in the 90s, the 80s, the 70s. They took a hit on their legacy by letting this shit happen with LeBron James. Their legacies are destroyed, ruined. Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, Bill Russell, all these guys. I don't care who it is. Your legacy has took a hit by letting these shenanigans happen and not saying, listen, these guys got their eyes pissed on heavily. It hasn't really even clapped back, said nothing. Now I'll tell you how much they want these little paychecks that's coming to them. That's crazy. And truly, I think the NBA will continue to destroy these guys' legacies just to sell their EuroLeague going forward. Watch what happens. These guys can't even stay on the court, can't even play physical basketball. Yeah, all this stuff. They're frail as hell. Nobody watches them. And they want to compare these guys to Michael Jordan and all these past players of the past. Watch. Have fun. Have fun. Like I said, these guys are, to me, are an embarrassment to me. Those top 75 guys, or those guys that played in the 90s and 80s, to watch their legacies get pissed on and them not say nothing? Pissed on by the own NBA's media guys. This is just insane when you think about it. I'm gone, man.